In November 2022, 4 college students were stabbed to death while they slept. Their killer left almost nothing behind, except one thing. And it took a genetic detail the size of a fingerprint to end a 6-week nationwide manhunt. Bryan Kohberger was a 28-year-old PhD student studying criminology, someone who had spent years learning how killers get caught. In the early morning hours of November 13, 2022, he allegedly used that knowledge to break into a house near the University of Idaho campus and kill 4 students in their sleep. He almost got away with it. For 6 weeks, there were no arrests, no named suspects, and a terrified college town locking its doors. Then one piece of forensic evidence, DNA from a knife sheath left at the crime scene, changed everything. Moscow, Idaho, a quiet college town, population under 25,000. In an off-campus rental home lived a group of close friends. Madison Mogan, 21, Kaylee Gonsalves, 21, Zaina Knodel, 20, and Ethan Chapin, 20. Sometime in the early hours of November 13th, an intruder entered the house. All 4 students were fatally stabbed. 2 roommates in the house survived, physically untouched. It would take days before police even confirmed how many people had died, and weeks before they named a suspect. There was no forced entry that investigators could point to publicly, no robbery, and for a long time, no clear motive. What there was fear. A campus and a town gripped by the idea that whoever did this was still out there. The break came from something almost too small to imagine. Genetic material left on a knife sheath found at the scene. Investigators ran it through genetic genealogy databases, the same technique used to catch the Golden State Killer, and it pointed them toward a white Hyundai Elantra and eventually to Bryan Kohberger. Kohberger's phone was also near the victim's house at least 12 times before the murders, according to court documents. Almost all of those visits late at night or early in the morning. He was arrested at his parents' home in Pennsylvania in December 2022, roughly 6 weeks after the killings, and extradited back to Idaho. For over 2 years, Kohberger maintained his innocence and prepared for a trial that could have ended in the death penalty. Then, in a stunning reversal, he accepted a plea agreement just weeks before jury selection was set to begin. On July 2, 2025, standing in an Ada County courtroom, Kohberger answered yes when the judge asked whether he had killed each of the victims, and guilty when asked for his pleas to the charges. In exchange, prosecutors took the death penalty off the table. 3 weeks later, at his sentencing, the victims' families finally got to speak directly to him. Kaylee Gonsalves' sister, Olivia, didn't hold back. "You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser who thought you were so much smarter than everybody else. You aren't special or deep, not mysterious or exceptional. No one thinks you are important." Kohberger himself declined to address the court. He was sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole, plus 10 years for burglary and $290,000 in financial penalties to the victims' families. For a case that seemed closed, it isn't over. On July 27, 2026, about a year after his guilty plea, Kohberger filed a petition to withdraw it, writing that he was advised to lie and told he'd gain a legal victory by entering a false plea. He's since been assigned a new attorney to fight the case. But nearly every legal expert who's weighed in calls it a long shot. One attorney who represented DC sniper Lee Boyd Malvo called it a monumental uphill battle since Kohberger waived his appeal rights as part of the deal. The victims' families aren't backing down either. The Gonsalves family says they're 100% ready for a trial and expect he'll now face the death penalty he avoided the first time. The motive, meanwhile, has never been fully explained in open court. No manifesto, no confession of why. Just a criminology student who spent years studying how criminals think, accused of becoming exactly what he studied. So after a guilty plea, 4 life sentences, and now an attempt to undo it all, do you think Bryan Kohberger deserves a chance to withdraw his plea? Or is this just a killer trying to manipulate the system one more time? Drop your theory in the comments. I read every single one, and the best theories shape which case we investigate next. Subscribe to Case Closed Files and turn on notifications. New cases drop every Tuesday and Friday. Thanks for investigating with me. I'll see you in the next one.